All right, what's up, ladies and germs? Welcome back to the show. It is May 29th, 2026, 4:42 p.m., Friday afternoon. Yes, I'm drinking. Uh, I'm here with Illy and Anna. What's up,
Okay.
guys? So, like as we were talking before we got on here, Anna was telling us about this Ebola outbreak started in Congo, and now there's some cases in Uganda, but they're trying to take the infected American citizens to Kenya where she lives, but the Kenyan government has said no so far. I don't know why they wouldn't just set something up where they're at. I don't know why you would try to import them to Kenya and take a chance of spreading it even further. And
Safety first, I guess.
I really didn't hear anything about it until Anna told me. You were saying you heard Rubio talking about it, correct? No
Yeah, so
flights.
yeah, pretty much no flights. He's like, turn back. We're not allowing any Americans, anyone else, or anyone infected. But I mean, aren't there some people already infected in the United States right now, or passengers? I don't know. Maybe I don't
Well,
know.
from what I read, it's limited to Congo and Uganda right now. Not
Okay.
even Kenya, which is why are they bringing trying to take them to Kenya? That makes no sense. Telling me they can't set up a makeshift hospital where they're at. That's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Um,
Conspiracy. They're
yeah,
trying to spread it.
yeah, right.
Okay. That's wild.
So everybody seems to like the show lately. There's a lot of new listeners, and I got some good messages and stuff. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's kind of funny. So the people that listen to this show they're already kind of like how do I say uh, I don't want to say schizo. I mean like I can't think of the word, but somebody was trying to say that you were a Fed.
That was a Fed.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Okay.
Don't take it too hard. They've called me that too,
The
and some
demeanor.
other
I mean,
people. What's that?
is it the demeanor or something? No way.
No, everybody. They think everyone's Feds on this show. Like
Uh,
other people that have been on the show, they people will message and say, that guy was a Fed or something like that.
that's
Like I
hilarious.
said, I wouldn't take it personally or anything.
No,
That's
definitely.
the schizo battalion. That's what we call our listeners.
Right. Hey, Julio's in the back. Remember that. So let's just let's not talk about it.
Um, oh yeah, and then we were just talking about the hantavirus a couple weeks ago. I don't think I brought it up, or maybe I did. But
Mhm.
so Hanta in the Israeli language is slang for nonsense or a hoax.
Wait, Hanta?
Hanta, yeah,
Oh
H
wow.
A N T A. It
Hmm.
means nonsense or a hoax in Israel. I'm guessing that the language is called Israeli or Hebrew. I don't remember. I
Yeah,
just thought that was kind of weird.
Hanta. I mean, that's interesting to know. Hmm. But did you hear about what's going on recently? So there's been a a lot of attacks going on a lot of Christians out. they're in the Gaza Strip right now. So especially with the war going on, there was I believe it was like 2 weeks ago, there was a Christian nun, Orthodox nun, and some guy came out of nowhere and I mean, he like pushed her, started kicking her. It was really bad. And so a bunch of other, Israeli soldiers ended up trying to separate it. But, a lot of people were from Islam as well, and Christians were kind of trying to unite, like, to let everyone know, this war that's going on is kind of crazy, but there's been a lot more attacks on Christians ever since situation. An Israeli soldier 3 weeks ago took off or desecrated a cross with Christ, and so they had to tell him, like, I think they put him in jail for like 2 weeks or something like that. So
I did hear about that.
It's going crazy.
And then while we're talking about feds, you see this Anna, can you oh yeah, you already got your screen up. Can you bring up that Instagram? Not the one with the clip on it, the first one. Yeah.
Oh, this guy. Oh my God. Yeah.
Former CIA officer accused of defrauding government had $40 million in gold bars in his home.
Mm-hmm. I mean, with that much gold, why wouldn't you have just left? I mean, if you know he was after you, like, why wouldn't you have just gone? I mean, you got all of that money. Leave. What they're gonna come after you? Why would you stick? I don't know why you would stick around. And
No, I don't think he did think they were gonna come after him, because he was like a high-ranking officer, and people just get arrogant about it. He probably thought they were never going to bother him. I'm curious how they found out. Anna, can you play the clip now? Maybe it'll explain some of this. I didn't really get a chance to listen to it.
Officer is accused of secretly stashing 300 gold bars in his house that he brushed off as work-related expenses, according to court documents, and two people familiar with his employment history. Julia Ainsley is joining us now at this exclusive reporting. Sorry, Julia. What?
I know. Hallie, when I first heard this tip, I didn't think it was real. And then the court documents spelled out that there was a man who was an employee of a government agency that was found with $40 million worth of gold bars in his home. If you're wondering how many gold bars that is, the court document says it's about 308. What my team here at NBC News, Dan DeLuce and Gary Grumbach, and I found is that man was not just an employee of any agency. He was a high-level official with top secret clearance in the CIA, and that he not only lied about what he was doing with this money, but that allegedly he also lied about his background, said that he graduated from a college he did not attend, that he went to a graduate school he did not attend,
Wow.
and that he had a pilot's license that the FAA said he did not have. So he was arrested last week, and he is now in detention facing these charges of lying about his background and perhaps unknowingly embezzling American taxpayers' money.
CIA senior officer is accused of secretly.
Man, wait a minute. How do you lie about where you went to college and lie about having a pilot's license and still get into the CIA? What the fuck is going on in this country?
I mean,
You know what I mean?
He just knew it. He just knew how to do it. It's wild, really wild. Like, the pilot part is what's got me. It's that, was he allowed to drive? Like, was he allowed to fly a plane? Not drive, but fly a plane. And did anyone notice anything? Because, I mean, the simulations, think about it. The simulations for Air Force or anything is crazy. I mean, you literally have to know how to gear up and all that. So it's like,
Maybe he just wanted to. Maybe he just wanted to sound impressive, because according to this, he was a senior officer, and you would think they would have had somebody else flying the plane. Who knows, though? You never know. It's crazy.
that's 40 million, though. I mean, why would
Yeah,
you
you're
stick
right.
around? Like, oh man, does he have family? Like that's what I'm wondering too. Is
I don't
someone
know.
new?
I didn't see any of that. Anna, can you look that up? But speaking of like intelligence agencies and stuff like that, it just occurred to me earlier today. I'm like, so you know how they like to infiltrate like what they call like patriot groups, like the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers,
Hmm.
or even I think there was one called the Patriot Front or some shit like that.
Mm.
So they infiltrate all these groups, and they had some of them locked up mainly for the January 6th whole thing, and it was basically like a setup. The way to me,
Hmm.
all right. So you got all these groups of people that are basically just patriots. You know, some of them like to drink. Some of them like to carry. You know, the Proud Boys
Yeah.
are known for drinking. Oath Keepers are Second Amendment. Pretty sure they're always packing, which is not against the law. Now you got groups like NAMBLA. Have you ever heard of that?
A little bit, but not too much.
The North American Man Boy Love Association.
Oh my god.
It's basically a pedophile group right out in the open.
Oh my god.
Why aren't they sending spies in there? If you know what I mean, it's just like seems like they're picking on the wrong people, if you ask me.
I know. Did you hear also that so I guess Trump was going to he was going to fund a couple of people. So right now there's a huge lawsuit going on where there's some officers trying to sue the presidency or something because he's giving money over to individuals who were there during January 6th. And so a lot of the cops are just upset because they're like, well, this happened, it's like, I don't know, it's the middle ground. You want to face it, but they're like, you know, so I don't, it's interesting. Point of view.
I thought you were going to be talking about this. All right, so Tom Paxton.
Mm-hmm.
He was, I think he was a district attorney in Texas, but he's like a MAGA Trumper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Trump has supported him and endorsed him and all that stuff. Okay, and you also got this attorney from Waco, Texas, Adam Hoffman, charged with pedophilia. He repeatedly raped one of his friend's sons over like a 2 or 3 year period. And this guy Tom Paxton, I think now he's running for governor or something like that, right? He was the DA at the time, or something like that. And he basically let this Adam Hoffman off with reduced charges. So in Texas, the minimum for what he did is 25 years to life. So 25 years is the minimum.
Oh, that's crazy. Good.
He let him off. He let him off with a 60-day sentence, and he only served half of it.
What?
Yeah.
And
He did 30 days
mm-hmm.
on what should have been 25 to life. There he is right there. So, people accuse me of being like I did vote for Trump, but I mean, you got to call him out on this type of shit. So that's his boy Paxton who let who knows what really happened? You know, I mean, the guy's an attorney. He's probably got a lot of friends that are attorneys. Maybe they found a loophole or something like that. But it's just bullshit. As soon as you said Trump, that's what I thought you were bringing up. But I had that marked down too.
Yeah, I know it's Waco too. So I mean, remember Waco or all that, like the Seven Seals conspiracy kind of thing? I mean,
Yeah.
look at that. It's a little, I'm saying, a little weird, but yeah, that's bad taste in the mouth.
So, are you on Facebook? Like, do you have an account on Facebook or?
Still don't. Probably
No,
hadn't.
I don't either.
But,
I'm not crazy about Facebook. I was just kind of wondering, like, whatever happened to the Metaverse. Did you ever hear about that?
I did never really got into it. Isn't it like Sims? That's what I heard, like the game or something.
Basically, yeah. And then I heard pretty. This was years ago. I mean, the whole thing was supposed to drop like I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, and then it just died out. Who knows how much money they invested into it? But I heard there was like a virtual rape, like right off the bat. Know what I mean? Like yeah.
What kind
But,
of thing is that? It's a little...
I don't understand how it all works, but I mean, you got these kids playing Grand Theft Auto and shit. What did they think was going to happen? You know what I mean? Like, they're basically going into a virtual, you know, almost like a video game.
Mhm.
They're going to do all that type of shit. I don't know. I was just wondering whatever became of it, but I haven't heard.
I mean, that's a little far much. Like, I know you kids or play, but what? Like, was the parents find out and then they were like, "What the hell are you doing?" You know, like,
Well, no. Supposedly so you control an avatar, to my understanding.
Mhm.
And this lady was in there and she was an avatar. Of course, you know, they're probably going to make themselves, it doesn't have to look like you. You know what I mean? So maybe she was in there. It doesn't matter. But
well,
so these two friends basically raped her avatar, and then she filed a complaint with Meta or Facebook, whatever it was at that time. And so I don't know, they were trying to like charge, like, I heard something about Snoop Dogg bought like a plot of land in the metaverse, you know, or maybe it was somebody else. I think it was him. But it's like,
yeah, virtual real estate.
yeah, well, that was a waste
mean,
of money.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, if you got money to throw around, why not?
there's a game like that actually. That you buy. I think it's on your phone or something like that. And then say if someone bought the McDonald's next door, and then someone else buys like the Burger King or like a Wendy's, Chipotle. They'll put them all together, and you'll notice that if you play the game, you can't buy it anymore. So now you're just wondering what's going on.
Okay, so after burning through an estimated 90 billion with little consumer adoption, Meta effectively pivoted its focus away from the standalone virtual reality-based metaverse to focus heavily on AI. While Zuckerberg's original vision hasn't been completely scrapped, Meta has retreated significantly from the concept following widespread disinterest, financial hemorrhaging, and industrial shifts. So, yeah, that explains it. Thanks, Anna. Man, it's hot in here.
What are you drinking?
Keystone Light.
Keystone Light?
Yeah. Don't be surprised if I start sweating now. I don't have central air in the bunker. I got my hatch.
Really?
I got the hatch open.
Oh man, I can imagine.
All right.
Oh, actually, something that just popped up yesterday. So North Korean soldiers are, and of course I got the smellies there, but North Korean soldiers are being sent over to fight in the Ukraine. And what happened was there was two defectors, and they didn't know that they were going to fight over in Ukraine. They literally have footage of, because it's the culture of where if anything bad happens to them, then their family's considered traitors. So a lot of young kids, I'm talking about like young soldiers right now from North Korea, are killing themselves. So there was a whole video clip that was going across, right? And it's so sad. They're shooting off, and they'll yell like, this is for my mother," or like, "My father, I love them," and then kill themselves. And it was like literally, and they're just, it's continuous. And so what's going on is that they're showing that in North Korea how the stronghold of it. They said it's not because of Kim, it's not because of Kim, it's not because of Kim, but it's that if anything was negative to happen, it's like for the next generations. They said my family's gonna have to work harder. The fact that my son killed himself or didn't want to bring dishonor to our family, you have to realize like that's the life here. So it's sad because a different perspective.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. So.
That's kind of surprising. So they're North Korea and is teaming up with Russia.
Basically, yes, they're sending North Korean soldiers up there. Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm always over here running my mouth about how I had this notion that the gas prices were going to start going back down.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm seeing that it's gonna go up another 3% because Trump just can't get anything worked out with Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he doesn't know who he's even dealing with, and they're just not working with him. So the Strait of Hormuz is still, they're still having issues with that. And let me see what this. I just wanted to see what it said. While oil prices fell roughly 5% to around $94 per barrel on hopes of a deal, analysis predict prices will remain in the low hundreds for most of 2026 due to slow logistical recovery. But
Depends where you're at, right?
yeah.
Cali's crazy right now.
Did you see what Anna had pulled up about Kim Jong-un praises soldiers' suicides? They're crazy over there.
Full kamikaze at this point. No way.
Deepening role in Russia's war. Okay, scroll down some. All right, so now a little bit more. Okay. It doesn't really say anything.
Yeah, I mean the video footage was crazy. Literally, yelling, like they're in the uniform, prone position, leaning down, and then and then dead. And you're just
Right.
like, what? You know? It's crazy.
So you're Christian, right?
Hmm?
Illy?
I'm
And
non-denominational.
Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty. No, I can't say that. My wife is the one that got me going to church, and it's Church of the Nazarene.
Oh wow.
So I guess technically it's Protestant,
Oh, that's cool.
but like in the past, I'm not. There's a lot. I said a lot of stuff that I wasn't proud of on this show, like and I really just got saved about a year ago, but some of these conspiracy podcasts that I listen to, like I don't listen to a lot of them. I don't listen to anymore because I just don't want that. I don't want some of that shit to get in my head. I don't even want to hear it. You know what I mean? But it's kind of comes close to like blasphemy, like all these esoteric beliefs and stuff like that. And I had episodes like when I first started getting back into the Bible. I had and I can tell you, I think it's Romans 13. And Paul was, and you know, this show is all about not trusting the government and all that. So Romans 13, Romans 13 was basically the whole chapter was talking about. Paul was telling people like, and he could have been talking to the Romans and not us. You know what I'm saying? But because it was literally a letter to the Romans. But there it is. It's Anna brought it up. Romans 13, 1-7 specifically discusses human government and civil authorities. It's basically telling you to bow down to the government. But like I said, there's different ways you can take it because he could have been talking to the Romans because it was a letter to the Romans, right? But I just didn't like that. So for like 3 weeks in a row, I would take digs at Paul, you know, and he wrote half of the Bible, you know, and I said a lot of stupid things. And I also had a problem with Constantine because, yeah. And, you know, he was running things when they did the Council of Nicaea and they decided what's going to be in the Bible, what's not going to be in the Bible. And that's another thing, man. A lot of these conspiracy podcasts, they love to talk about
Nagamati Library, Dead Sea Scrolls.
What's that?
Like the Nagamati Library or the Dead Sea Scrolls, Gospels that are not in the Bible.
Yeah. Like the Book of Enoch is real big with conspiracy people.
Yeah. Yes.
And I mean, I'm telling you, man, like I listen to basically like Christian conspiracy shows now, right? But I will hear something, it'll be like, oh man, like I needed to hear that. So Matthew 23:35, and this is Jesus talking, right? And he states that the blood from Abel, and he's talking about the blood of the prophets. I'm not quoting it word for word, but he says the blood of the prophets from Abel to Zechariah, which is kind of weird because it's like A to Z. You know what I mean? And So basically, if you're saying from Abel to Zechariah, that's Genesis to, here it is. It says Jesus holds the religious leaders accountable for the historical persecution of the righteous, declaring that their generation would face the consequences for the murder of all innocent people in history, from Abel to Zechariah.
Well,
Okay. Yeah. And so what that means to me, okay, Zechariah, the son of, I can't even pronounce that. He was put to death in the courtyard of the temple, 2 Chronicles 24. I've heard it said that Jesus was basically saying any Second Temple literature, that's what he's saying. But I mean, the Gospels are basically Second Temple literature because it wasn't written yet. While the Gospels right. Matthew was writing down what he was saying and so forth. But I don't know, man. And then, but they do mention the Book of Enoch in like a lot of the Old Testament. You know what I mean?
definitely.
And it just kind of it's very confusing. You don't know really what to think.
Well, there's
And-
something that adds on to him. Like, I don't want to cut you off, but like, for example, they mention so Sethians, for example. Seth, he was the third son after Cain killed Abel. Seth was born, and so they mention how Christ was able to perform miracles, right? So he could actually do physical manifestations, and so Seth was actually, well, they say that lineage of where they mention Abel. God gave Adam and Eve basically Seth because after Cain had killed Abel, and the reason why was so that this is where the lineage of the next blood will come, where the purification of the prophet, and so how it goes is kind of it's the inner beliefs of where there's like this misinterpretation where it says that the kingdom of heaven, and Christ himself has always said it, the kingdom of heaven is within us, not amongst us. So they say that the Vatican may have interpreted it really wrong, where it's within us. So we can find, so how science goes with the pineal gland and how prophecies and we all have something very deep within us that comes from Christ and the Seth bloodline that lets us
Right.
know that we're able to do these miracles ourselves, but we have to look deep within, not just praise the government and that kind of that exactly we were on the topic of, but look deep within ourselves and know that we ourselves, that God is within us as well. And how they say, like, genetically, you could probably find. Now it's really interesting that they said you go all the way down microscopic and you can find out that God, like the letters God, is actually in your DNA. So it's interesting.
Yeah. But you got to be careful with all that because, so like, the Gnostic belief basically boils down to, which is also what the the devil, the serpent in the garden, all the enemies in the Bible, they were all basically saying, hey, look, you can be God. You know what I mean? So you just got to be careful when you start getting into that some of that new age stuff, because it gets mixed. They mix together very well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I agree. Gotta be careful.
Right. Oh, that's the other thing. I said I talked trash about Paul, talked trash about Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
You said something that reminded me also. Oh, okay. She brought up
To
Gnosticism.
demiurge. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So Gnosticism is a collection of ancient religious and philosophical movements that flourished in the 2nd century. It prioritized direct mystical knowledge of the divine over traditional religious texts or institutional authority. Sorry if I'm reading slowly, it's because I probably need glasses. I'm struggling here. Central to its worldview is the belief that the material world is fundamentally flawed and that a divine spirit is trapped within human beings. So yeah, basically, that's, and so like, are you familiar with Alice Bailey or Madame Blavatsky or any of those people?
Yes, I am. I just found out. Look, before we get into it, because look, I will not deny that I love Blavatsky. And there's a lot of debunkers, but look, there's a lot of people. Like there's professors in Stanford. I've literally watched so many of the paperwork of her. But guess who else actually followed her? Tesla. And so Tesla. Okay, remember how I mentioned Tesla before, where it was like Tesla's. Yeah. The goal in life for me, I feel like, and I encourage this to any person, right? So Tesla was one of the greatest geniuses on this planet. Literally helped. Thomas Edison also had patent inversions, but they were in competition. It was like Einstein with special relativity and other astronomers. But he actually he's discovered AC current and other electrons and protons. And he was also in the same society as Helena Blavatsky. This is what guided him. The only thing that I'm trying to figure out is what happened he actually got cheated. I feel like Tesla got cheated. I feel like they didn't give him enough credit, and that's the reason why he ended up dying sadly in his bed, telling his mother, who wasn't, mother, I'm sorry for everything that so I never told you this. Okay. So look, so you remember how we talked about Crowley, right?
Yeah, yeah.
His story is really sad. It actually touched me so much. It's like a daily motivation for me, where it says Tesla died alone at like 80 something years old with one of his servants in his room. And he wrote to his mother and he said, "Mother, this day is where I said that everything that I've done for humanity was for no reason." He didn't get acknowledgement. He died sick alone in his 80s, and he lived till that age. And he even said that he lived in poverty. His goal of being able to, So.
Well, you know why that happened? Because Thomas Edison and people that backed him. Mm-hmm. So he was working on free energy. That doesn't nobody would profit from that. So they did everything they could. They probably they probably dragged his name through the mud and all that shit. You know what I mean? Because they wanted to get rid of him and all his work. And have you ever heard the theory about who collected up all his, his notes and paperwork?
Yes, the CIA. When he passed away, someone barged in his room and took all the paperwork. Yes.
I mean, specifically who?
I can't remember who. Can't remember. No, enlighten me.
All right. Supposedly it was one of Trump's relatives, like John Trump or something like that. He worked for the CIA. The whole thing is crazy. There's some books out there. Mm-hmm. What's the guy's name? I can't remember now. But there's books, the Adventures of Little Baron Trump, but they were written in like the 1800s. So people think it comes time travel comes into play and all kinds of crazy shit. But they're saying Trump's uncle was the one who gathered up all his paperwork and notes and all his belongings because he worked for the CIA. Yeah,
That's why.
that was quite a turn of events there. We were talking about so many things there all at the same time. I don't even know what, yeah.
It popped up. Look, I do watch it. Blavatsky
Okay.
inspired him.
Following inventor Nikola Tesla's death in 1943, his papers and laboratory equipment were seized and evaluated by the U.S. government, specifically the Office of Alien Property Custodian, not the CIA. So the U.S. government took this action amid World War II to secure his inventions. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. To evaluate his files, the government enlisted Dr. John G. Trump, an MIT electrical engineer who concluded that the papers contained no workable principles. And then he probably took them all. Crazy, right?
No.
Okay. Just because you like Madame Blavatsky, I'm not going to hold that against you. You're only 25 years old. You're a lot farther along. No, you're a lot farther along than I was at that age. I just got my shit together like a year ago, and I'm over 50. But now what we're talking about Tesla,
Mhm.
I want to know, because you seem like you got a pretty good grasp on science and all that, and I don't. What does this 369 thing mean to you, if anything? Because I can't. I've been looking into that off and on for years now. It's just like trying to make sense of it.
So,
Maybe it was-
okay. My fault.
Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe you don't have an opinion on it. I was just curious.
It's awesome. I mean, if you look at it like the square root or just how the number goes, but the Trinity, so Christianity as well. You can also go from Abraham, where the three different monotheistic religions: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. So, three kind of plays a factor in the Bible, the Quran, and the Quran.
But you know the quote, right? From Tesla.
But she pulled it up right now. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it says, if you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, you would have a key to the universe. And that's Tesla talking. So
Mm-hmm.
they call it the mathematical meaning, or vortex math. So that's all right if you've never heard of that. I don't.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been looking into it off and on, and I can't make heads or tails of it. It's pretty trippy. What's that?
It is pretty cool. I'm reading right here the frequencies. That's why. So the manifestation method of it. That's cool.
But you're right, though. Going back to the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
you got the three religions of Abraham, and then. Well, with that being said, there's an awful lot of twins in the Bible. All the twin stories, like so Jacob and Esau, Isaac and Ishmael. It's just weird because it's almost like yin yang or something. There's always one good one and one bad one. you know.
Mhm.
And that goes back to the, like I said, when you get into some of that new age stuff, it can be really confusing because it mixes in so well.
Mhm.
You know, because they talk a lot about you know, like the balance of opposites, like the yin yang, or um, you know, feminine, masculine, all that stuff.
Counter each other out. Balance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like in the military, you know, if I remember running A train, right? And I was the first female to run A train. And I mean, I messed up my toe because of this, my foot. But the hilarious part is this: they pushed forward. Like, they literally were like, one of the sergeants, I mean, he was such a dick, but I'll never forget him. He literally, I forget, Staff Sergeant Oxford, I think. We became super cool after that. But this was like an AIT. And he's like, you can fall back right now. You can fall back. And I was like, and headstrong. I was literally the first female. So I'm literally running. And we did an AKG. So we did an AKG run. And instead of just finishing up at 6 miles, literally we ended up going another 2 miles. We did an 8-mile run, right? I found out they forced me to go into A train because I think my 2-minute mile was like 13:56 or like 13:50 something. And they were like, you got to go to A train. And I'm like, why?
What's A train?
So so if you do your 2-mile run under 14 minutes, then A train, like everyone who's the faster runners who.
Oh.
Yep.
So
Yes.
you mean like a separate PT in the morning?
Basically, so the faster groups, they break it down all the way until D. Like if you're in D train, it's kind of like you're running like 11-minute, 12-minute mile. Like you don't want to, you know. So, but that balance where he was like, I was the only female, and it was rough for like the first 5 days a little bit, and then after that, I mean, I threw on a vest and I got so used to it. I mean, you get conditioned after a while, but
right.
That balance.
You still run?
I do, but I haven't ran in a while. I've been doing more squats, my push-ups and stuff. You know, calisthenics.
I hate running. I did run after I got out only because I was a pro boxer for a while, and I was only running because whoever gets tired first is going to be the one that loses. Unless you are drastically way better or way worse than someone, you know what I mean? So it really comes down to conditioning. So I would run, even though I hated it, every day. And so my last fight was in 2008, and I haven't run ever since. So that was it. But
That's cool. Nice. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I think when I was in, I think 15:54 was the slowest you could go, or you didn't even pass. But we all ran together because, like, if we were doing PT in the morning and somebody fell out, we would all have to slow down, you know, because you can't leave a man behind. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But what you guys were doing makes a lot more sense. But I guess they were trying to, in the infantry, they were trying to build that thing where you don't leave anybody behind. Or
that's good though. I mean, it got everyone faster if you think about it.
Right. So we had one fat guy, and he would fall out almost every run, and so we'd all be singing. We had cadences just for him. Like we'd be running and clapping. Don't fall out. Regal Beagle Beagle. His name was Regal.
Oh,
and so yeah. And it was funny because he they wanted him to lose weight, obviously. You know, you got the fat boy programs where you got to go get your neck and your waist measured and all that stuff. And so, like, whoever was on CQ duty, the platoon sergeant was like, "Hey, if Regal orders any pizza, I want you to call me." And so nobody ever fucked with him. But there was this one guy that was a dick,
Mm-hmm.
and he happened to be on CQ that night. And so here comes the pizza man, and we're all just hanging out drinking beer. This guy calls up the platoon sergeant. So here comes we're all getting fucked up in the barracks. Just it was on a weekend, and here comes the platoon sergeant. Well, he told the guy to pay for it. He pays him back, and then he grabs the pizza and goes and knocks on Regal's door.
Mm-hmm.
And he had there was probably 30 of us behind him just waiting to see what was going to happen. He fucking smoked his ass, man. He had him doing push-ups, sit-ups, and all, flutter kicks, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Good times.
Regal just wanted the pizza, and you couldn't let him have the pizza. Damn.
But he wasn't listening, and everybody kept letting him get away with it up until that point. And then this one asshole, it was a fun night. We were all just, it wasn't fun for Regal. But,
That's hilarious.
All right. We've been going now for almost an hour.
All right. Yeah.
Did you you want me to just keep putting that same song on there? Or are you going to remember to send me a different one?
I'll send you a different one. I gotta actually work on an upload for YouTube later.
Okay.
An album. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put something up this week. But yeah.
All right. Remember, you got to send it over email. That's
Okay.
the only way I can figure it out.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right. Okay. If anybody has any questions, comments, bitches, gripes, complaints, conspiracy soldiers at yahoo.com. Conspiracy Soldiers on Instagram. Conspiracy Soldiers on YouTube. We're on Apple, Spotify, and all that stuff. But if you're listening on video, Conspiracy Soldiers on Rumble. And what it is I'm trying to I feel like I'm being shadow banned, and if you don't mind, check it out on Rumble, but it's still going to be on YouTube. And same with the Apple and Spotify, the audio. We're going to be on Patreon, which is free. I know a lot of people charge on Patreon, but we have a free tier. And they definitely aren't going to shadow ban or anything over there, so I don't have to worry about that. And that's what I'm saying. I'm playing Illy's music at the end of the audio tracks. I was putting it on video, but it'll be on audio for now.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah. And the phone number, 313-583-7646. I've been getting a lot of messages, a lot of good feedback. Don't be afraid to call in, leave a voicemail. Let us know what you're thinking, and you can hear it on air. All right. So, anybody got anything else? Illy, Anna. All right. You guys both been doing great. So thank you for that. And with that, Conspiracy Soldiers is going dark.
See you guys.
Bye.